Hello everybody, welcome to Tpull's Corner. This is Travis and we're playing Historic Brawl. It's a pre-constructed part of the Midweek Magic, so somebody at Wizards made the deck for us. And they put a whole bunch of pre-constructed decks in here. And I think we just wait a second, we can still put that down on our opponent's turn. And their commander is Daneth Anu Benelia's Light. So Vigilance, Trample, and Lifelink for a 2/2. And they can cast an aura or equipment spell from the graveyard. First blood is ours, and we get to see what's at the top of our deck each time. The rest goes into the graveyard. Oh, so they filled their graveyard already. They got the stuff. They can bring it back. But it's not sorceries, right? Ours are equipments only. Okay. So, we want to do armed with that information. I think we attack. And then we draw a couple cards. And then we put down Ornithopter. That could be a troublesome card later. So now it's just a 3/3 and I can't see the top of my deck. Okay. It's not the worst thing. We can still see through the top of our deck with the fairies here. And I don't need another land right at this juncture. So we just attack with what we got and see if they're going to chump block the 3/3. No, they're not. You took time to do a transformation spell, but it was a 2/3. You bumped it up to a 3/3. So, is that still not sufficient? Do you still need to get rid of it? It's still the most powerful card on the board. What kind of stuff would they get out of here? Get a Thopter into Mindstone. Not impressive yet. That destroys all creatures. Are we willing to do that? We can attack with everybody. This one just throws somebody I don't control. So if we do that now, because you're all tapped out, right? You can't stop any of this. We still get another card. We're kind of flooding out a little bit. What else do we have in our deck? Let me draw your second card, okay? And we can flash that in, yes? Okay, so in that case, we just attacked what we got. Sufficient. They're one away from flashing back the Divine Reckoning. So do I bring in Fairy Vandal? Start storing some up in reserve in anticipation of a board wipe. I feel like I can take things kind of slow. If I do that... What is that? It's a 3/3 now. Okay. Let's go ahead and go all in. Let's be aggressive. There's one. You can come down. We can get rid of you. We can destroy you, right? Sorry, sacrifice you and scry 2 more. They don't control more lands than me, but they might in a second. Okay, both of those are kind of good cards for us. So 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I just hold on to my land. And they need 1 more land to do the board wipe, in which case I would have an equal number of lands. There we go. Which one do we choose? Do we choose... Choose our commander. Why not? Target non-egg creature you control and then return it. This is an elk right now, so... Take action, exile it, bring it back. It is no longer an elk, and we can play stuff off the top of our deck with Flash. Life is good. And they don't know we have Scouting Hawk. So if they get another land, they'll just play it. Do we stockpile our lands, or do we just ignore Scouting Hawk and just keep playing our lands as we go? I don't have any mana sink anymore. Okay, I guess they can cast that from the graveyard every turn they want, if that's the one, if I get rid of it each time. Let's see, Bonds of Faith, +2 as long as it's a human, otherwise it can't attack or block. But I'm a human angel. I am. I can still attack and block. You just pumped me and gave me the way to kill you, right? They may not have understood how that card works. Do nothing. We can bring that out. Now that can form a blocker, a chump blocker, and then the artifact stays on the board. So I don't need to worry about them bringing that particular thing back from the graveyard every turn to be a chump blocker every turn. And I've got lethal thanks to what they did, so they can't block Giada and get rid of Giada. Unless they're willing to swing in with their 4-2 and get some life gain right now. Anything good in there? They got another flying artifact. Grapple with the past. We got a Silhouette Battle Chair now. I think they have to attack with Danitha, don't they? Evidently they don't. What is up with all these lands? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So if I bring this down. We got a land out of the way, and it gave us an island. Okay. We will just attack again up front. They'll have to chump block this time. They take 2 points. And they get one more turn to figure things out. Do you have anything that's helpful? You got another flying chump blocker. That has trample but not reach. There has first strike and reach. And now you could bring back Hexgold Hoverwings as well to give you yet another turn. First strike is nice. Uh-oh. Okay, now we're cooking with gas. But now you can't bring back the Hexgold Hoverwings. You don't have enough mana. And I've still got lethal up top, so you have to trample. Okay. They have to attack with Danitha now to get the light, but they did not attack with Danitha. Okay. They could get some points of life gain there. And that's game. We're going to do one more. Let me go in and show you the entire deck for this particular pre-made. As soon as we claim our prize. A Werefox Bodyguard. Alright. Okay, this one's called Flashy Fliers. And because Brawl takes so long, I'll probably only do 2 battles with this one. But to give you the overview, you usually have somewhere between 36 to 40 lands in the Brawl decks. Yeah, 39 lands, 38 creatures, and what's our average mana cost? Come on, go back in there. 3.2. So not too shabby. Errant and Giada's from March of the Machines, 2/3 with flash and flying. You can look at the top card of your library anytime, which I love that capability. And you can cast spells with flash or flying from the top of your library. So we might have had a slightly faster match if we didn't have so many lands topping up. But we've got a bunch of flyers in here. We've got some mana dorks to help us out. Flyer, flyer. A little bit of removal, and here comes the flash stuff. So every now and then there's a card draw kind of thing in here, and an occasional enchantment. But the vast majority of things that we're looking at is either mana generation or they have the flash and the flying type of ability. So nothing too staggering in and of itself on any one of these. They're all decent cards. There's good, type of freezing the opponent's creatures all throughout. Not quite a lot of exile or removal necessarily. But we've got some life gain mixed in here as well. Little couple ways to trick out our land. And there is a Fumigate there for a massive board wipe. And our bombs are Lyra Dawnbringer, Mole Drifter, Juvenile Mist Dragon, Thrix the Sudden Storm, Cavalier of Gales, which is a nice card, and Cloud Blazer. Well, Cloud Blazer isn't really a bomb, but I didn't see anything that... There's not too many things in here to blink, except for the one angel, the Restoration Angel. So we got Wisp-Weaver Angel. Yeah, okay, so there's another blink card there. And then this... We could sort of use this to return one of our creatures if we wanted to have an enter into the battlefield attack or effect again. Okay, so I kind of like the deck. I like the way it's put together. Just submit that same deck again. And Brawl decks can go long because you both got 100 card decks. Sometimes it takes a while to get to your winning combination. Sometimes you do flood out with land. Sometimes you end up with armies that have basic parity, so you stand along doing nothing for 5 or 6 turns in a row, just waiting for something to break the stalemate. That's more common in Brawl than a lot of other places. This seems like a slow and steady. I'm going to surprise you a little with Flash. I'm going to get a little bit of card draw, hopefully. And the life gain that I have in here should be enough to sustain me until I get enough things going on. We've got their own ramping here. Watch your spears come down. That'll make my Flyers 1 cheaper to cast. And he gets pumped up for every flyer that we have come in. Let's see. Oh, they get to do card draw already. Gross. Okay, what do we want to do? I think... What else can you do? Flying, First Strike, Vigilance, Haste. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring in the Dungeon Geist. We'll tap you down. We don't get a card draw from the hit, but we'll get a hit on you anyway. And that way, if they have a haster with who's 3/3, I can also make the trade. That's a decent trade. Mana Dork instead. Epic Confrontation, okay. I've got to remind myself I have Flash, and I should use it to its best effect. So we want to goad them into attacking. And we want to believe that the tactics that we have, although they're going to have stuff like Epic Confrontation as well. And they might have some combat tactics at instant speed. But hopefully this early on, a 4/5 would be good. This makes things from casting 5 to 4, and they can't be countered. I don't think we would have to worry about being countered here. And they're not getting land, but they're still getting mana generation each time. So they've got 6 energy already. And I think it's time to flash some stuff in. Okay, whenever you cast your first spell during an opponent's turn. Yeah, we can reveal that. We can bring you down. And we'll save that for the flash, right? And now we just attack with Watcher of the Spears. We'll ding him in. This already had flash. I'm trying to look at the historic spells. Artifacts, legendaries, and sagas are historic. That's what we all get to have flash. It's strange to see that in there because we already have so much flash in here. What are they going to choose here? They get to just choose one. Okay, Trample and Haste is a 3/3. Swing and attack. We're going to flash this in. And that gives us a card draw. We'll go ahead and block. If they have a combat tactic, we sort of want to have it now. I like to get those things out of the way as early as possible and get their hand empty. Oh, they get rid of the Hippocamp to get rid of our card draw instead. Okay, so 2 for 1. Not too shabby. So next, enchant creature 1/1, lifelink, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. That seems like something that should go on the Fairy Vandal, I think. Yes. And since you draw the card, it gives a +1 counter, so we've managed to make the Fairy Vandal a self-fulfilling pumping creature. And that makes it a very big threat that's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger as things go. So if they can't handle it now, it's increasingly unlikely odds that they'll be able to handle it later. 5/5 with haste. Don't really care. They're doing good with the card draw though, aren't they? Let's go ahead and stop this from hitting us. That's enough card draw already. They had to tap out for all of that. Good game. I guess they were afraid of the Fairy Vandal. I feel like we have time for one more battle then. You can see I didn't test any of these beforehand. I'm getting my prizes now. I'm just now getting my wins in. Well, Spinoderm, excellent. Everything's live here at Tpull's Corner. If you're new, go ahead and subscribe. If you haven't liked yet, hit like. We don't edit. We just hit record and go. Because I got a full-time job, and I got a family, and I got an HOA at the house, and I'm on the HOA board. Actually, it doesn't matter, right? Just decline that. I don't have a 2-drop still. Technically, I was supposed to play Idyllic Beachfront first, because it's definitely tapped. Okay, wait. I do have a 2-drop now. That changes things. Choose a color other than white. I wonder what color I'll choose. You're not going to have removal this early, are you? Oh, we're up against Danitha again. Ooh, they get card draw ready right from the top. Okay, so we bring you in, we bring you in. I've got Vigilance, so the Fliers can start attacking right now. What am I going to do about you? Every time you get to draw a card. And there's a lot of cards that this deck has that throws artifacts and auras into the graveyard. So as soon as they get this engine going, they can dump stuff in, bring it out, get more card draw. And that's whenever. It's not like once per turn. That can be a nice accelerator. Okay. I don't have a 4-drop, so now it's finally time to bring this down. We'll go ahead and make that blue. And I think we go ahead and put down the Hippocamp. They're not going to attack with Shram. Much more value in card draw than hitting me for 2 points of damage. So we just don't have to worry about the trade, which means we can actually swing in with the Hippocamp too, unless they start equipping Shram with stuff. And speak of the devil. Okay, you are now a 3/3. Do I just exile you? 3, 4, 5. No, you've got Ward 2 now, so I can't really do that. But I can bring you down, and you get a counter thanks to Giada. And now I can bring this stuff out. And I can cast Flash, which means I can do that on my opponent's turn. So I kind of like that. So, we're still flying, we're still hitting for 2 apiece. Slow and steady wins the race. We've got a built-in advantage because we have so much flying. They have a number of things they can do to get Flyers. It is kind of built into the deck to have a lot of artifacts that give their stuff flying, or have creatures that fly. Artifact creatures that fly. Oh no! I don't want to get rid of all my stuff. Already Divine Reckoning? Here. Flash you in. Okay, let's see. Counter target spell or ability that targets you or a creature you control. That is a beautiful card. That one has flashback 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could actually save that. Let's see. Ouch. And it has trample. Ouch. I guess we're not blocking that. Oh, look at that board parity they got right away. Okay, exile target creature or enchantment. We will exile you. Auto pay. Took everything we had. They still managed to get card draw out of it. And they still got stuff on the board, but they don't have haste, right? The problem is they can bring epic proportions back. The very next turn. And I'm not fast enough, am I? Wisp-Weaver's not really going to help me here. Oh, seriously? 3, 6, 7, 8. What do I do here? This doesn't have flash. It's not historic. So that would be 6. That's still not right. I can bring that in and give me a counter. 7, 8, 9, 10. Shoot. And I don't have vigilance, do I? Arrgh. Well, that's got lifelink now as well. We can flash this in for all the good it does me. I need removal. Oh, land and land. Okay. And the blink effect does absolutely nothing. So just decline, right? So now we have to block everybody with... We have to block Danitha with everybody. Assuming they don't have another removal or some way to pump up Danitha even more. And look at that. They still got... They only got 8 lands compared to our 9, so it wasn't like... But we still... I mean, with what we had on top... Yeah, it looks like they made just fine, but they had so much card draw with Shram. And 2 board wipes with the flashback. Just no chance! And they're having a lot of fun with... They're just playing every card they can before they hit the final. Look, even that. Alright. You had your fun. Now I will die. Alright, 2 and 1. I feel like there's too much land in our deck. I had way too much the entire time. Kind of got our cards out of order in the terms that I needed them there. But, alright, we've got Brains, Collateral Damage, the Flashy Flyers, Lightly Armored, and Smashing Stampede. So you saw me go up against Lightly Armored twice and Smashing Stampede once. So these are usually a lot of fun. I like Historic Brawl. I usually don't have time. I want to do more Historic Brawl and put together decks, but they take a little bit more time to put together a good one because you're doing 100 cards, and so that's about 40 lands and about 60 unique cards. And that takes a little more brain power, a little bit more time in thinking of how things combine together to make good combos and synergies than the regular standard constructed decks that I can just make on the fly really quick. So I like when we have these Midweek Magic Brawl decks, just because I enjoy Brawl. I enjoy playing Brawl. And, you know, hey, when they do these kind of things, they give us 5 different pre-constructed. So it's a lot of fun for me to sample around with this and see how they do things as well. But just showcasing this, I know there's some people that they have full-time day jobs as well, and you don't have time to play necessarily all the time. So I like to go into these Midweek Magics and just showcase them each time they come up. And in case you didn't have time to play yourself, you can still get a sense and get a feel for what the event was like for this particular week. So with that, like and subscribe, and we'll do something different next time. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.